Charlotte and Phoebe, and all who love Jeff, as we navigate the currents of grief and remembrance. Let us pause, breathing deeply, acknowledging the natural flow of life and death. May we find stillness in the shared moment, connecting with the vast web of existence, and offer our loving kindness to Jeff's memory. This gathering reflects Jeff's life, a time to honor his presence within the cycle of being, and to offer our collective compassion as we acknowledge his return to the source, the great flow of nature. Words like leaves carried on the wind can only hint at the essence of a being. It was like catching lightning in a bottle for all those who knew Jeff. It was rare to meet a person like him. Jeff's spirit, like a wild river, carried its unique path, leaving its mark on the landscape of our lives. He was a son, a brother, a husband and a father, a friend, a poet, a fellow traveler, a seeker, and a dreamer, a union worker, an organizer, a smoker, a stoner, a dreamer, and for those who might know, a jackass. I would think when Ari called the cake decorating places to ask, can you do a cake that says happy birthday jackass? Everybody just said, please, the next one, I can't decorate a cake that says jackass. Though titles and labels may attempt to define him, he was ultimately a vibrant expression of life itself, a transient moment in the ceaseless dance of existence. He was bigger than words, greater than titles, and much larger than life. We were fortunate to witness his journey, to share in his moments of joy and sorrow, and to be touched deeply by his unique presence. And as we honor the flow of Jeff's life, we would like to welcome Emily, his daughter, to offer a moment of reflection as we listen to the echoes of his presence.
This was my dad's, one of his poems that he thought that I would really like because he talks about some of my favorite things in it. So I thought I'd read it. My cat says voting is a sucker's game. I bought him a collar on Etsy with the words I voted embroidered on it, but I haven't made him wear it. As I hold it awkwardly close to his face, whispering about possibilities, he looks at me like I'm wasting my breath, not having believed in anything since he was catfished by Taylor Swift. Every night for nearly a year, the pop star mimicked our neighbor's cat's ritual until T Swift's love of dance was revealed to be a nefarious ruse to win a bet with Ariana Grande. It's been zero fucks and Sex Pistols ever since, coming with the fact that rich people don't care about any cat's feelings. My cat has neither name nor game. He has vowed to never again fall victim to the niche pastimes of celebrities, no matter how catchy their songs are.
Thank you, Emily. In his nearly 50 cycles of the sun, Jeff lived a rich life and experience, a ripple in the vast ocean of time. He touched many lives, as here we see this, and also for folks on the live stream. We are here to honor those connections, acknowledging the interconnectedness of all beings, and to share reflection on Jeff's journey and to celebrate the shared path of siblings. We now invite his sister Katie to come forward and offer her words.
Jeff and I had an interesting sibling dynamic since he was 19 years older than me. We never lived together. But Jeff is the reason that I'm cool. In my adolescence, I would leave his home on Porter Street with mountains of burnt CDs of bands like Arctic Monkeys, Spoon, Eagles of Death Metal, and many more. Every time I saw him, we would make a new pile of CDs of bands for me to check out, all of which I love still to this day. Jeff was a lifelong Star Wars fan, but my fandom was Harry Potter. When I was in high school, Jeff took me to the midnight showings of the final 2 Harry Potters on release day. Also, in high school, Jeff let me tag along with his friends to go see Portishead at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. To this day, it was one of the best shows I've ever been to. They played my favorite, The Rip, and one of Jeff's favorites, Wandering Star, but he was disappointed that they didn't play Deepwater. I turned 18 my senior year of high school and was participating in the Louder Than a Bomb Slam Poetry Festival. Jeff brought me to the Cantab open mic to try out my competition piece, and I was able to meet poets from my future college. We also went to other open mics in the area, and there was one time Jeff was reading his poem, Arguing with Myself Over Buffet Sushi, which contains many, many profanities, and an elderly man stormed out yelling, "I came here for poetry!" I couldn't stop laughing. Jeff didn't even see it happen. When I was in college and living in Boston, Jeff was working at the Heinz Convention Center, which was right across the street from where I lived. On the weekends, he would call me on his lunch breaks, and he would come over and I would cook a big breakfast for us. He would also often help my friends and I with our homework. I had 2 close friends studying audio engineering. When they were stuck, I would say, "My brother can come over and help." They would say, "Which brother, Abraham Lincoln?" He was also dubbed by one of my friends the quintessential Boston punk dad. I also was stuck writing a paper. I can't remember which subject, but Jeff was helping me write it. I said, "How do you even know how to write about this when you don't even know what it is?" And he told me, "I just like writing. It doesn't matter what about." During the pandemic, he kept me sane. He helped me organize a family Zoom where I could share a slideshow of my late cat, Matt Cat, who I lost a month into lockdown. He loved the slideshow so much he had me play it multiple times. I also regularly attended his virtual open mics, mostly just to watch, but I occasionally joined in singing and playing bass and writing a silly play with my friend. We also had a murder mystery party where I dressed up as a male math teacher with a button-up and tie, but during the Zoom I stood up and forgot I was in little shorts. Jeff was cracking up at my creepy teacher costume. Also during the pandemic, I called Jeff after going through a devastating breakup. We talked a lot about how lucky Jeff and Ari are to have each other. They've been together since I was 3 years old, and they set the example of what a loving relationship should look like. I will forever be inspired by them. A few years ago, the family decided to include a new Christmas tradition in appropriate karaoke. We would all choose the most ridiculous song we could come up with and perform it for the whole family. Last year, I was trying to sing Wet Vagina by Doja Cat, and Jeff and I were laughing so hard I couldn't get through the song. He would always choose Childish Gambino, never rapping fast enough to the music, and replacing every N-word with honky on the spot. I have a vivid memory of being a child, maybe around 8, and I fell down. Jeff reached his hand out to help me stand up. I didn't take his hand and stood up myself. I always felt sad that I didn't let him help me up. A lesson that I learned from him is that it's always okay to ask for help, even when you think you can do it yourself. Thank you.
I hear no music.
That's for after
Oh, well, there you go. Pardon the Reverend. I'm sure all of us, when we were listening to Katie, thought about memories of Jeff and different things that we had seen him at, poetry, slams, just out in the community and all that. So take those moments that Katie brought forward as a sibling and think about, how you know Jeff in your life like that. Okay, now, we invite Jeff's wife, Ariane, to offer her words in a reading that reflects their deep connection and shared journey.
Jeff and I first met on September 13th, 1996, but I didn't think much of it. It wasn't until 3 months later that we met again, and I looked at him, and I remember looking at Jen and saying, one day, he'll be mine. We became best friends. We had the Beat Poets in common, traveling back and forth to Lowell, staying up late. I was still in high school as a senior, and he got me through finals. In that 13 months between meeting and starting to officially date, he was someone I could tell anything to. The first person and probably one of the only people I could be my absolute true self, and he was just there. After we started dating, I gave us 3 months. We were young. It didn't seem like it would last. What we realized was what we had was so much bigger than just dating. There was no way out. And even though the first few years were rocky, we always found our way back. We fought to have the relationship that we had, which only grew. When we got married, he recited a poem that he had written for me called Reduced to Art. And I will build towers to watch you ride horses through our bed. I will gild frames for the pictures of you painted on the inside of my skin. I will stretch my flesh like a gallery. I will walk my days raw for you. There was never a doubt in my mind that everything he did was not for me and his family. When we had kids, we realized that they transcended everything that we had, and they were everything that we wanted. Every once in a while, he would pull me aside and just be like, look at this. We created this. These children are amazing, and they were his everything. And I know that they will continue to make him proud as they do me every day. He would never turn down the opportunity to bring them somewhere, to be part of their friendship conversations, to do a project with them. When I was studying for my real estate exam, he would take Emily and Charlotte at the time into Boston just for hours. He was so invested in his family, and it showed. Jeff wouldn't tell you what an accomplished poet and artist he was. He was humble. But I'm going to tell you, from the first time he was published to the shows and open mics, one of my favorite things was watching him perform, but watching the audience when he performed. He would captivate them in a way that they'd be laughing and then hit them with this like truth bomb that made them go, oh, this is about more. As he grew, his poetry grew, and he would speak his truth. His poetry would take shape. He would change old pieces into new pieces, and often I'd be working on something. He'd be like, let me read this to you real quick. I'd stop, we'd listen, we'd discuss it. It was some of my favorite times. Sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night and wonder where he was, and he would be in the kitchen on a Zoom in a poetry open mic in India. He would be making dinner, and you'd hear people coming through the computer, and I'm like, can they see me? Like, can you please tell me your camera's off? What is going on? But he loved doing it, and he was good at it. He captivated an audience. He told his story, he spoke his truth, and he made space in his open mics for everybody to share their truth. He painstakingly went through, okay, how is this going to affect the people who are coming to the open mic? How are they going to feel? Are they going to feel comfortable to share their voice? And I loved watching him do that. Sorry, I'm losing my place. I don't necessarily want to mourn him. I want to celebrate and honor him every day in everything we do. And I'm hoping that everyone here will join me in ways that will make you think of Jeff, bring art to society, bring the community together, find art in random everyday places, create space for people's voices, lift them up, take chances, live your values, and tell people you love them even when it freaks them out. He would often be like, I love you, and I'd be like, what's wrong? What's happening? What, like, and he would just be like, I just love you. So please live passionately and don't stop being you. At the end of this, Jeff and I spoke to each other a lot in music. Before there were memes, which we could easily just send to one another, which I think I annoyingly sent him too many, and so if all of you start receiving them, I just don't know where to put all these memes. And I apologize. We would text songs back and forth to each other, and before there was text, we would leave a note on a CD saying, listen to track 2, this made me think of you. And before that, there were mixtapes. And although I have a playlist of music that reminds me of him, this one song seemed the most fitting, and I'd like to play it now. It is 3 Rounds and a Sound by Blind Pilot, and so I think Evan's gonna play it for you now.
Please send love to Ari. That's a very difficult thing to do, and you really gave Jeff a lot of love here. So please, thank you. Okay, we're going to need you, Molly. Speaking of music, we've chosen a piece of music that carries a deep sense of introspection, a song that speaks to the feeling of being adrift. It also possesses a certain beauty in isolation. Wandering Star by Portishead, with its distinct and atmospheric sound, allows us to reflect on life's journey and the sometimes solitary paths that we walk. While the song holds a sense of sadness, it also offers a space for contemplation and for remembering the unique essence of Jeff. We are honored to have Jeff's sister Katie and Miss Molly, here today, who will share in the musical tribute.
Testing, testing. Sorry. All right.
Yours is normal on the far right.
Yes.
Other side, yeah. Farthest. The farthest one. That's me.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. Next one.
You do it.
You're this guy.
Sorry, I can't think right now.
There you go.
Please, could you stay a while to share my stars, for whom it is reserved, blackness of darkness forever.
It is said that a being's presence continues to resonate like the echo of a stone that's dropped into a still pond. Though Jeff's physical form has returned to the earth, his essence, his stories, his poetry, his impact remains with all of us. It sits within us like seeds carried by the wind. Let us keep his memory alive by sharing our experiences, celebrating moments of joy, acknowledging the natural cycle of life and death. May we find peace in our shared love, and may his spirit carry with us as we continue on our journeys. May he travel well on his journey back to the source. Bless and hail the traveler. To close our service, let us reflect on Mary Elizabeth Fry's words, recognizing their natural and impermanent nature. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on the snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. And when you awaken in the morning hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. After this service, we will be going to Forestdale Cemetery for a graveside service. Let us hope that Jeff does not think it's funny and open up the skies on us. And then afterwards, we will be going to Anthony's in Malden on Canal Street. And during that time, as we share a meal together in community, you will also, if you would like to speak about Jeff, you will have an opportunity there. If that is not the right moment for anyone, we honor that and understand. There will also be a celebration for Jeff, a celebration of life, art, poetry, and all kinds of wonderful things in July, and there will be more information as that comes. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for sending your love and giving strength to everyone in the Taylor family. It is much appreciated, and the best thing to do is speak Jeff's name so that he stays alive in our hearts and minds for many, many years to come. Thank you. I believe that we have folks that will be able to lead us over to the graveside service. Yes? Okay. All right.